Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte's music store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at a really interesting and very unique guitar that we don't see all that often. Me personally, I've never seen this guitar or model before in my life. I think on photos, like certain players, but yeah, this is the first time ever holding one. This is a 2006 Ernie Ball Music Man 20th Anniversary Silhouette electric guitar in a, let's see, they call it a caramel burst finish. So 20 years old already, if you can believe that. Made in the USA even says it there on the back, in pretty bold lettering. But a very interesting guitar. So yeah, Ernie Ball, Music Man, probably best known for their basses, for like the Music Man Stingray, also for the amplifiers, which were both pretty popular from the 1970s onward. But electric guitars not so much. Obviously Ernie Ball, we all know them because of their strings, like the whole world plays them almost, if you will. But guitars not so much. We do know that, I believe that I think that Eddie Van Halen even had a model with them, right? With Music Man? I've seen a photo of Keith Richards playing one. Anyway, just goes to show that I know very little about Music Man Ernie Ball guitars. But what I do know is that it is a very unique guitar. So this is a 20th anniversary, I'm guessing, of this model, the Silhouette. So that was then probably introduced in 1986. 40 years ago, and it is a, yeah, I would say just a model in and of itself. It loosely resembles a Strat, more so like with the double cutaway, but besides that it really has, and this being a bolt-on and having a tremolo, it really has no real resemblance with a Fender Stratocaster or with any other classic model for that matter. So making it only the more unique and the more interesting. So yeah, really cool to then have in the shop. It is also in a very, very clean shape. And yeah, let's then dive into the specs of this very unique electric guitar from 2006. So first off, the body. That is actually a, let's see, I believe it said an alder body. Yeah, it is a lightweight alder body with mahogany tone block, and then a flame maple top. So the body, I'm guessing, like over here, what you see there on the back, that is then alder. But then on the inside, it then features a mahogany block, which you then cannot see, I think. It is indeed quite lightweight, not like super light, but like really comfortable light. And then obviously has this really stunning flame maple top in that caramel burst is what they're calling it. So a really pretty guitar. Also there on the back you've got those back plates for the trem system as well as for your control cavity. What you also then see is you've got this layering going on, so kind of like gives you this faux binding look there around the top because of those layers of different woods. So that looks really, really fancy. Moving on to the pickups. These are obviously humbuckers, but to be more specific, these are some custom DeMarcio humbuckers. So yeah, they are quite high output. They are not active or anything like that, but they really do sound really great. They also sound quite modern, like not really PAF sound in a way, if you will. And they just sound quite unique, I would say. Like in a very good way. Like, I don't think that I've ever heard real humbuckers sound like this. Yeah, it's really kind of like hard to put into words, but I would just play it in a little while and then you can hear what I'm talking about and hopefully you agree, or maybe I'm just making things up. But yeah, obviously then got two of them. You've got this tremolo system, vibrato system, Music Man branded. So it says there, Music Man there on this piece right here, embossed. But to be more specific, this trem system is actually a Music Man vintage tremolo bridge system. So it does resemble that of a Strat, But what is quite nice is that the trem arm, I think, pops in. Yeah, pops in. So you do not then have this, yeah, just turning like by gravity, if you will. So that is definitely like a little bit more of a modern touch. But the saddles are definitely kind of like vintage inspired, like they really do resemble that of a Strat. But obviously it is then a 2-screw or 2-point adjustment or type of a construction there. But yeah, pretty good tremolo system. Me personally, I don't use it all that much, but yeah, works quite well. And obviously you can then have it set up in any way that you want. Moving on to the controls, quite simple, just a master volume and a master tone control, and then you pick up a selector switch, no push pulls or anything like that, coil splits, so just your humbuckers in and by themselves. What is cool though, that like in the middle position, it sounds quite single coil-y, so that is quite cool. Definitely, again, quite a unique sound from these humbucker pickups. Output jack over here on the side, right there, but what is also really nice is this neck heel, or like where the neck is bolted onto the body, because that is really rounded. So access to the higher frets is really comfortable and very easy. Definitely like no sharp points, edges, anything like that. So that is yeah, quite unique about this model. I would say like this like specific design, and it also just looks really good if you ask me. This then a 5-bolt neck construction, if you will, or a 5-screw neck to body attachment. And then moving on to the neck, that is a maple neck, and this one has some really nice bird's eye even. Hopefully you can see that there, that wood figuring looks really nice. What's also quite cool is that the back of the neck is satin, but you can see that it was like taped off at the headstock. So the back of the headstock is still glass, as well as the face of the headstock, and then the sides of the headstocks as well. But then the entire back of the neck is satin. So feels and plays really nice, very smooth feeling neck. The profile, that is, let's see how they describe this as. Can't really see anything or tell, but so yeah, I would just describe this neck. A little bit medium to slim, I would say. Very C-shaped, so really round. Like it is just like almost like a perfect round feeling neck. So yeah, pretty neutral feeling if you ask me. Overall, I think that most people would just be perfectly fine playing this neck. Also, given that it is satin, it plays really nicely and quite fast and smooth, so no worries there. You then got a rosewood fingerboard, which then also features a 10-inch radius. Got these simple plain pearloid dot inlays. And then the nut, that is actually quite a unique type of a nut. That is a patent compensated nut, which supposedly improves intonation. So it almost like looks like that each individual string like has its own slot with, kind of like reminds me of teeth in a way. Probably sounds a little bit weird, but you can see that there has been parts like cut away from that nut. So, and supposedly that is supposed to give you improved intonation. Don't know if that's true. It looks a little bit, let's just say, unique, but it just does the job really well. Yeah, the material, not too sure. I don't think that it is bone, probably some bone imitation material, maybe new bone, maybe graft tack, but again, the nut just does its job really well. You also then got this rather unique headstock design, so you've got like four tuners on one side and then 2 tuners on the other side, so E to G, that is all on this side, and then the B and high E are on this side. So you get a really small headstock, like I can just wrap my hand around this entire headstock, which normally I can't do with most headstocks on guitars. So pretty unique design. Pretty sure that this is also a unique Music Man or Ernie Ball design that you also see on like PV guitars, I believe, as well as Eddie Van Halen guitars. I'm 100% sure on that. But For the rest of the headstock, you got also this really nice caramel burst going on the face of the headstock. And then obviously reading Ernie Ball Music Man there, a decal, as well as the Silhouette 20th anniversary name there, model name decal. And the tuners, by the way, are some locking tuners. To be more specific, these are Shure's, so Shure M6 locking tuners. So on the back you can also see those locking wheels, but they just work really, really well. And also then again there on the back you see a made in San Luis Obispo, California, USA decal. So this is indeed like a very premium high-end instrument made in the US of A. And then the last thing to mention, also comes with its original hard showcase, really fancy looking hard showcase with like a cream off-white faux leather exterior and then a really nice orange interior. So yeah, a really, really nice looking case. Or like a light brown interior. Either way, looks really, really good. For this really fine guitar, so really cool guitar, quite unique. Never played a guitar like this before. It is, yeah, really its own thing, which I can definitely appreciate. Has its own look, has its own sound, its own feel. By the way, threshold adjustment is over here with that little wheel type of a system that you then put your Allen key in and turn it like so. Forgot to mention that. But apart from yeah, it kind of like being its own thing, it is a really cool guitar. What I do have to admit is that it is a little bit of getting used to with your picking hand, because like, I'm not sure about you, but I mostly play like this, like with my playing hand over here, and you then touch the pickup as well as the neck extension quite easily. So you kind of like then have to force yourself to play a little bit more near the bridge. That is a little bit of a getting used to thing, I think, but it is probably worth it because this is a really cool guitar. So yeah, let's move on to the playing part and let's actually hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 2006 Ernie Ball Music Man 20th anniversary Silhouette electric guitar in a beautiful caramel burst finish, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of very cool rare electric guitars like these, or cool acoustics, bass guitars even, all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's see what's very fine 20th anniversary Silhouette electric guitar by Ernie Ball Music Man sounds like. It's quite a mouthful. I'm going to be playing it through this late 1970s Fender Pro Reverb. So let's then move on to that part and let's then take this really unique Ernie Ball Music Man electric guitar from 2006 for a spin.